Good evening. So this evening I want us to look at the standard-based curriculum. Now, every teacher, you need and you must read the front matter of the standard-based curriculum to know what you're supposed to teach and know when to teach, what to teach and how to assess. Okay, so now let's take the standard-based curriculum, the soft copy. Okay, so with the soft copy, we have two types. You see that there's one they've written drafted. Please don't use that one. Use the one that there's no drafted written across the write-up. Okay, so for every standard-based curriculum, you see the Ghana Education Service written boldly on top of it, Ministry of Education, the logo, the coat of arms also written, the subject, and then the year that it was enrolled, that is September 2019. Then National Council for Curriculum and Assessments. Okay, so that is it. Now let's go to the forward. I'm going to read it verbatim so that you know what you are supposed to do. Okay, so let's start with the forward. The new curriculum for Ghana's primary school is standard-based, which is our demonstration of placing learning at the heart of every classroom and ensuring that every learner receives quality education. Provision of accessible quality education for all is non-negotiable if we are to meet the human capital needs of our country required for accelerated sustainable national development. It is for this reason that the new curriculum set out clearly the learning areas that need to be taught, how they should be taught, and how they should be assessed. It provides a set of core competencies and standards that learners are to know, understand, and demonstrate as they progress through the curriculum from one context standards to the other and from one phase to the next. The curriculum and its related teachers' manual promotes the use of inclusive and gender-responsive pedagogy within the context of learning-centered teaching methods so that every learner can participate in every learning process and enjoy learning. The curriculum encourages the use of ICT for teaching and learning. So it said ICT as teaching and learning materials. The new curriculum has its heart the acquisition of skills in the 4 R's of reading, writing, arithmetic, and creativity by all learners. It is expected that at any point of exit from a formal education, all learners should be equipped with these fundamental skills for life, which are also prerequisites for Ghana's becoming a learning nation. The graduates from the school system should become functional citizens in the 4 R's and lifelong learners. They should be digital literates, critical thinkers, and problem solvers. The education they receive through the study of the learning areas in the curriculum should enable them to collaborate and communicate well with others and be innovative. The graduates from the Ghana schools should be leaders with a high sense of national and global identity. The curriculum therefore provides a good opportunity in its design to develop individuals with the right skills and attitudes to lead the transformation of Ghana into an industrialized learning nation. For this reason, the Ministry of Education expects that learners, as a result of the new knowledge, skills, and value they have acquired through the new curriculum, will show a new sense of identity as creative, honest, and responsive citizens. These are our core values that underpin the identification and selection of learning areas for this curriculum. These core values serve as fundamental building blocks for developing into our learners the spirit of teamwork, respect, resilience, and the commitment to achieving excellence. The Ministry of Education endorses a quality learning experience as entitlement for each of Ghana's school-going girl and boy. The curriculum has right focus on learning and learning progression. The Ministry of Education has also endorsed accountability as a critical domain for effective working of standard-based curriculum. More importantly, the role of the teacher is to make this curriculum work for the intended purpose, to inculcate in learners the core competencies and values, and to make learning happen, improve learning outcomes, and the support that teachers need is duly recognized and endorsed by the Ministry of Education. The ministry will support the implementation of the curriculum to include capacity development of all teachers in the new curriculum. Teachers matter in the development and delivery of the standard-based curriculum, and we will continue to support our teachers on this journey that we have started together to put learning at the center of all what we do best, to teach. So that is the forward. Now let's go to the philosophy, the rationale for the. Now every subject has its rationale and philosophy. Every subject, take note of that. So if you are teaching any of the subjects, read the front matter of the curriculum. I'll repeat it and I'll repeat it again, because if you teach like that, you do disservice to the learners and to the nation at large. So let's go to the rationale for primary. Let's go to the rationale. So language is both a medium of communication and a library in which the elements of culture are stored. It remains the most reliable means through which the elements of one's culture and that of other people are transmitted from generation to generation. First, the study of English as a second language will equip learners with effective communication skills that will provide them with an appreciation of the values embodied in the language and culture of others. In the light of present-day global development and technological advancement, the learning of a second language and the acquisition of literacy must promote the respect for the language and culture of others. Secondly, the special status of English as a language across the curriculum and as the official language of Ghana, and the role it plays in national life, including being the language of government, business, and administration, commerce, as well as the media, makes it important that Ghanaian children learn English as a second language. Also, to enable our learners become members of the international community, they must be exposed to English, the most widely used global language. This means that success in education at all levels depends to a very large extent on the individual's proficiency in the English language. However, children must first be given a strong foundation in their first language to make the learning of English easier for them, as confirmed by research. It is for this and other reasons that English language is a major subject of study in education in Ghana's schools. Okay, so let's move to the philosophy of the English language. Philosophy. Borrowing from a variety of philosophical ideas like the interactionist and contextualist, this language and literacy learning curriculum is informed by two major ideas. Please take note of this. Two major ideas. So the philosophy behind this English language is based on two major ideas: the developmental theory and the social constructivism. Developmental theory and social constructivism. Children go through developmental stage as they learn language, and research is clear that children develop language at their own pace as they interact with the environment around them. Therefore, when children are provided with a good social environment, they develop language faster than children who are in non-interactive and poor language environment. In teaching language and literacy, the syllabus adopts the socio-constructivist dimension to learning. At school, literacy learning goes through the same developmental processes. Children have inbuilt potentials to develop and acquire new languages while approximating grammatical structure as they learn to speak. They invent names for the objects in their world from the beginning, by gradually as they interact, they learn the appropriate language of the community. The social constructivist theory holds the notion that reading and writing are in an active process of constructing meaning from print. Hence, the use of their favorite phrase, meaning making, to describe how active the reader is in learning language and literacy and comprehending what he or she reads or hears. The teacher guides learners to decode text and support them to engage and make sense of the text they read. This is to ensure that good readers do not just take in a store of given information, but make their own interpretation of experiences to elaborate and test those interpretations. Thus, participatory and thematic approaches should be emphasized to help children connect literacy learning in the classroom to solve real-world problems in the environment and world around them. The teacher should promote interaction and make learners active in their own learning. Learners' differences in the language classroom should not be taken as a deficit, but provide the teacher with the background to support children. Current definition emphasizes that literacy is not just reading and writing, but also listening, speaking, and thinking. It involves the knowledge and skills to engage in social and academic processes needed for effective functioning in the school and community. Now let's go to the general aims. They will end it there. Now the general aims of language and literacy curriculum is to enable learners develop an appreciation and understanding of the English language and to use it effectively, making learning with it in ways that are purposeful, imaginative, creative, and critical. I'm taking it again. The general aims of the English language. The general aim of the language and literacy curriculum is to enable learners develop an appreciation and understanding of the English language and to use it effectively, making learning with it in ways that are purposeful, imaginative, creative, and critical. Now let's go to the specific aims. The overriding aim for the language and literacy curriculum, both English and Ghanaian language in basic school, is to promote high standards of language and literacy by equipping pupils with a good command of the spoken and written words to enable them to 1. Acquire the basic skills that will help them decode any text. 2. To read age-level text easily, fluently, and with comprehension. 3. To cultivate the habit of reading widely for pleasure and information. 4. To acquire a wide stock of vocabulary, understanding grammatical structures as well as linguistic conventions for easy reading, good writing, and speaking. 5. To write clearly, accurately, coherently, adapting their first language style in a range of contexts for varied purposes and audience. 6. To read with pleasure, literary materials, and appreciate a great stock of library repertoire. 7. To acquire the skill of self-expression and be able to communicate the ideas to different audiences to achieve the intended purpose. Then the last one, that is 8. To develop and cultivate the skills and ability to read the lines, in between the lines and beyond the lines, and to find out hidden meanings and ideas. So I'm going to end it here. We'll continue. Thank you.